One loose stone is all it takes. For an animal built to conquer cliffs, this should be home. But today, the mountain has taken away the one thing every climber needs. A way back, the young mountain goat is stranded hundreds of meters above the valley floor. Behind it, broken rock. Below, empty air. And ahead lies a narrow wall of stone barely wide enough for a hoof. Mountain goats are among nature's finest climbers. But what happens when the mountain gives even its greatest climber nowhere left to climb? Earlier that morning, the mountains were quiet. A small group of mountain goats moved slowly across the upper slopes, feeding between exposed rocks. To most animals, these cliffs are barriers. To a mountain goat, they are protection. Predators built for speed lose much of their advantage here. The mountain goat has chosen a different weapon: balance. Its compact body keeps its weight close to the rock, while powerful shoulders and legs allow it to push upward from tiny ledges. But its greatest tools are underneath its feet. The outer edge of each hoof is hard, while the center is softer and slightly flexible. Together they work almost like climbing shoes, gripping rough stone where many animals would simply slide away. For the adults, every step appears effortless, but the youngest member of the group is still learning. Instinct tells it that the cliff can be crossed. Experience teaches where the cliff should not be trusted, and experience takes time. The youngster leaves the others and follows a narrow shelf around the mountain. Fresh grass grows from cracks ahead, only a few meters away. But in the high mountains, distance can be deceptive. The goat steps forward, then another step. The goat freezes. It has learned something important. The mountain is not solid everywhere. It turns to retreat. The path home is gone. Now the youngster faces the cruelest rule of the mountains. A route that was safe a minute ago may not exist a minute later. The goat moves forward, not because the path is safe, but because standing still will eventually become even more dangerous. Clouds move across the ridge. The wind strengthens. For an animal walking on a ledge barely wider than its own hoof, a sudden gust is more than weather. It is another hand pushing against its balance. Sometimes survival is not movement. Sometimes the bravest decision is to wait. The wind weakens. The goat rises again. Ahead is a section of almost vertical rock. Muscles that usually carry it effortlessly across the mountain are beginning to tire, and fatigue changes everything. A careful animal becomes impatient. A precise step becomes a hurried one. Fear does not need to push an animal from the cliff. Sometimes, it only needs to make the animal move too quickly. The goat presses its chest against the wall, alive, but weaker than before. herd has noticed. An adult female stands on a higher ledge. She cannot reach the youngster. The cliff between them is too steep, but she does something else. She moves sideways across the slope, stops, then steps onto a narrow projection, almost invisible from below. The youngster watches. The adult is not rescuing it. She is showing it something. A route. One that experience can see, but fear had hidden. The youngster looks toward the same section of rock. There, a tiny shelf, barely enough for half a hoof. But in these mountains, half a hoof can be the difference between life and death. It stretches, not enough. Again, its muscles shake. The adult remains above, silent, watching. No animal can lend another its strength. Some steps must be taken alone. The youngster gathers its legs beneath its body. For several seconds, it does not move. Then, one controlled push. Its front hoof reaches the shelf. It holds. The second hoof follows. The youngster pulls its body upward, centimeter by centimeter. The cliff releases its grip. The mountain never taught this young goat with words. It taught with loose stone, cold wind, tired muscles, and one frightening mistake. Nature's lessons are often unforgiving. But for those that survive them, fear can become caution. Instinct can become experience, and a mistake can become the reason the next step is taken more wisely. Today, the young goat did more than escape a cliff. It learned the rule that may keep it alive for years to come. On the edge of survival, courage is not always taking another step. Sometimes, it is knowing exactly where that step should fall.